Hi, I'm Courtney.
I'm Dara.
And this is Next Big Thing with Courtney and Dara. Thank you all for joining us again. Today we have with us Landon Dickey. He is the Special Assistant for the African American Achievement and Leadership Initiative for the San Francisco Unified School District.
Woo!
Nailed it.
So we do want to talk to you about your journey, how you came to education, but first I want to know, do you have an acronym?
So we haven't gotten an acronym for Special Assistant to the Superintendent because that would just be SAS, which is
already a thing.
For the African American Achievement and Leadership Initiative, we call it AAALI for short. So I was thinking about Muhammad Ali.
That's
I love
awesome.
it.
Okay, great. Now that we've gotten that taken care of, do tell us about your journey and how you came to education.
For me, getting here was very much both a personal journey and a professional journey. So I think one aspect of it is that I've always been drawn to public service for whatever reason. So going through SFUSD as a student, my experience as a black boy going through SFUSD was my race not ever being referenced in a positive way at the end of the day. I would go there. I've always been a pretty good student. I've been fortunate to have support from my parents. I'm at home with homework and just navigating different things, and they were familiar with the district, but just never felt like I belonged as a black student in SFUSD. In college, it was kind of a moment of awakening for me because then, I stepped into understanding that this is like a nationwide thing and understood the achievement gap, understood that overall black and brown students were having consistently negative outcomes in schools throughout the country. If people don't know, me and Dara went to the same college, but being at Harvard, there was this culture of, get out, do consulting or investment banking. So I tried investment banking and I did not like it.
Can't imagine why that might be. It's such a warm and inviting environment.
No.
Yeah, I did go back to Harvard for business school. Always wanted to focus on nonprofit and public sector management. So a lot of what I did in business school reflected that. Ultimately got into a public interest fellowship that got me in Boston in the mayor's office. And at that point, I was working closely with Boston Public Schools as an education advisor. And I felt like what was lacking for me at that time was that I just really wanted to be home. Almost kind of miraculously, I got sent this job posting at SFUSD for the African American Achievement and Leadership Initiative. And it was just one of those moments where I was like, this is exactly what I want to do. Like, all I want to do is have a job in education where I think about black people 24/7.
Yeah, someone needs to.
Yeah, and how to improve the experience of black students. We support black student unions within our high schools and are really working to encourage peer mentorship between students and linking up how those skills and peer mentorship really can be a pathway to ultimately a role in the classroom and working with younger people in the classroom. We're trying to build some more deliberate educator pathways starting at the high school level so that there's actually more structured ways for our students to start to understand what that means to go into education. And then we also have some special programs in our schools focused on Black history courses where we're really deliberately reaching out to African American males and females as educators to teach those courses. Wow. If we really value education, if we really value our teachers, if we think that it's important, and to me, public education is like the most important thing. That's just like it's the way to move people from poverty to being able to live with stability and access this economy. So if you're not supporting teachers, you're not serious about supporting public education
and the children within the education system.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I'm always hearing politicians talk about the kids, we gotta do it for the kids. And I'm like, but if you really think about how all of our actions are impacting the kids, well, we might wanna revamp some of that. Yeah. Like how much we pay our teachers.
Exactly. Landon, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
This has been amazing and enlightening and a little sad. But better, you're working on it, so
exactly.
we have our top men on it.
we do. Not one but two we've had on this season so far. On top of it,
they're on it.
So should we ask what our audience could possibly do to help with Ali?
Oh, that's a great question. So, I mean, if there's any teachers out there, number one, we're always looking for all educators. I'm looking for African American educators, but all educators, anyone interested in working with our schools. please contact me through like some magic through the through the
Oh, we'll have all the
internet.
information right here. Don't worry.
Yeah. Contact Landon through magic.
And
Through
then,
Black Boy magic.
and then otherwise, I'd say that the other thing we're always trying to get young people connected to are job and career exposure opportunities. So regardless of what job you're in, if there's opportunities within your company for internships, for job shadows, for visiting workplaces, things like that, and students being exposed to that really make a difference in terms of their investment in their education and their building of their vision for what they want to be in the future.
Great.
That sounds great.
This
Yeah.
sounds fantastic. So this portion of our day is wrapped up, but you are going to stay around for tea time, yes? All right, so stay tuned for that, and thank you all for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.